thoughts in terms of the performance today?
I've got the intraday graph of the Australian market behind me, and you can see what a difference the afternoon makes. We saw a massive rise in not only the Australian dollar but risk assets, the Aussie dollar, an improvement in the euro at around about 1 p.m. And that was as comments out of China were coming through. We saw the governor of the central bank in China coming out to say that he would continue to look at investing in European bonds, as well as looking at investing in rescue funds for Europe as well. And that helped to support the euro and added a little bit of confidence back into markets. So that was the key in the afternoon. Of course, this morning we were concentrating on that Euro finance ministers meeting, which was scheduled for tonight, but has been postponed once again for technical reasons. It looks like the paperwork isn't done there, but there will be a teleconference call, so the market will be tuning in to that tonight. Of course, earnings season's very much in focus, and we saw some big moves on the market today. Noni B was one of the best performers, up by a massive 10.6%. We also saw Domino's doing well, up by 6.4%. And of course, some big names coming out today. We saw Westfield coming out with its full-year result. Its stock up by 5.3%. Commonwealth up by 0.5%, and unfortunately not a good one for primary healthcare, which was down by about 4.7%. We also saw Perpetual upgrading its forecast for profits, so that stock doing well, up by 7.2%. So we started off the morning pretty shaky, focusing in on Greece, but those comments coming through from China really injecting some confidence into markets.
I want to get to those in just a second, but Julia, you made mention there obviously of the expectations of that EU finance ministers meeting tonight. It looks like it might be some sort of a teleconference, but you've got to be kidding me. The fact that it might be an issue over not getting the paperwork done. You've got markets sweating on this thing. You've got an entire country on the cusp of default, and they're not getting the paperwork done. There's got to be some sort of a joke.
It has become a long-running joke, the situation in Greece, and I guess the voices calling for possible default of Greece getting louder, and that was really what caused a lot of volatility on the US markets overnight. We saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average down as much as 87 points during the session, but then by the end of the session we've seen an improvement of about 4 points, and it looks like the Greek Prime Minister has delivered a letter of political intent to the Eurogroup ministers to try and appease some of the concerns that they have. But an ongoing saga, and a saga that the market will continue to tune in on. Of course, China's comments helping to ease some of those worries, but we're still watching the Greece situation very closely.
To the performance, Dan, interesting to see some of the movements amongst the sectors. Materials, a bit of a laggard, but property doing well. How much was that on the shoulders of Westfield?
Westfield is the biggest company in the sector, and it not only came out with a good full-year profit result, which was on the upper end of expectations, but we heard a couple of other announcements as well. We heard of the 10% on-market share buyback, which is earnings per share accretive, and the big one is about its US mall portfolio, where it will be selling a 45% stake, looking to go into a joint venture with a Canadian pension plan. So it looks like selling off some of those assets, which probably aren't seeing higher levels of growth, and freeing up capital to be able to invest in higher growth projects. So overall, a very positive move for Westfield, and we saw the stock hitting the highest level that was seen in around about 7 months, so up by 5.4% today.